This video presents a brief discussion on how a data flow diagram or DFD shows the movement of data within a system from input to output. It begins with level 0 for the overall system view and continues through levels 1 to 3 for a more detailed breakdown of processes and data flows. This presentation will be discussed by me, Jean-Marc Balibalita, Aizil Joy Anota, Teresa May Bayani, and Jillian Mirko.
So I'm here to discuss the level 0 of our data flow diagram. So the level 0 diagram shows the whole system just as one process. So as you can see in our diagram, we have the sales warehouse, and dispatch system as our main process. So surrounding these are the three external entities that interact with the system, which are the customer accounts department and the supplier. So I will now explain how each entity exchange information with the system. So first, we have the customer. So the customer sends a customer order to the system. So in response, the system returns an order acknowledgement confirming that the order is been received. Once the order is successfully processed and dispatched, the system sends back a delivery note to the customer, which serves as the proof that the goods have been sent. So for the account department, it is important in playing a role of monitoring and financial. So every week, the account department sends a credit limit list to the system. So this list helps identify which customer have reached their credit limit and should not be allowed to place new orders. So the system will send a delivery note copy. So it will be used for invoicing. Then a reorder card prepared when stock levels are low. So after the account department notes and verify it, return the order card will issue and send back to the system. Then a good receipt note, which comes from the supplier, then pass through the system for financial recording. So at the bottom of our diagram, we have the supplier. Supplier provide the company with new stock base and goods along with the goods received note to the system. So this document is then forwarded to the account department, ensuring payment and inventory records. So this completed the explanation of the level 0 data flow diagram. So in the next levels, we will expand this single system into a detailed process.
I will begin with the sales department, represented as process 1 in the level 1 DFD. This department receives customer orders from the customer. So once an order comes in, sales records it into the customer orders data store. This data store contains key details such as customer information, product ordered, quantity, and date of order. Every week, the accounts department sends sales a credit limit list, which includes customers who have reached their credit limit. Sales uses this list to decide whether an order should be accepted or rejected. If the order is not allowed because the customer is already on the credit limit list, sales sends back an order refusal to the customer. But if the order is acceptable, sales generates an internal order form and forwards it to the warehouse department for processing. At the same time, sales also provides an order acknowledgement back to the customer, confirming that the order has been received and approved. Next is the warehouse department, represented as process 2 in the DFD. Warehouse receives the internal order form from sales. From there, the warehouse checks product availability by accessing the stock records data store. This data store contains real-time stock counts and item details. If the item is available, warehouse prepares a dispatch instruction and sends it to the dispatch department. The stock levels are also updated in the stock records data store to reflect that the items have been allocated for an outgoing order. In cases where stock levels are low or items are unavailable, warehouse prepares a reorder card and sends it to the accounts department. Accounts will use this information for replenishment and purchasing using their separate procurement system. Warehouse also handles supplier deliveries. Suppliers deliver new goods together with a goods received note. or GRN. Warehouse updates the stock records based on the incoming items and forwards the GRN to the accounts department, which will handle payment and invoicing. The third major process is the dispatch department, represented as process 3. Dispatch 3 receives the dispatch instruction from the warehouse. Based on the instruction, they gather and package the ordered goods. Once the goods are prepared, dispatch creates a delivery note. The goods and the delivery note are sent to the customer as the final step of order fulfillment. A copy of the delivery note is also sent to the accounts department so they can process the billing and invoice for that complete delivery. In addition, dispatch updates the delivery records data store, which keeps track of all shipments, delivery dates, and associated order numbers. Finally, we have the accounts department, represented as process 4. Accounts interacts with the multiple departments in this system. First, it provides the weekly credit limit list to the sales department. This list is important for controlling which customers are allowed to place new orders. Accounts also receives two important documents, the delivery note copy from dispatch and the goods received note, which is the GRN from warehouse. So these documents are used for accounts separate invoicing and payment system, which is outside the boundary of the DFD but depends on these inputs. Accounts also receives reorder cards from warehouse whenever stock levels are low. These reorder cards help accounts identify which items must be purchased from suppliers.
In level 2 data flow diagram, the process begins at 1.1 where to validate order or sales, where the customer submits an order and the sales department carefully verifies the accuracy of the details, including item availability, pricing, and customer information. Once the order is confirmed, an order acknowledgement is sent back to the customer and the approved request moves forward to 1.2 to prepare internal order, where the customer's order is converted into an internal order form for internal use. This form is then forwarded to 2.1 to check stock and prepare order, where inventory levels are reviewed to determine whether the requested items are available. If sufficient stock is confirmed, the 2.1 immediately issues a dispatch instruction to 3.1 package and ship goods, initiating the packing and delivering process to the customer along with the delivery note. However, if inventory is found to be insufficient, 2.1 sends a low stock indicator to 2.2 to manage reorder, where a reorder card is prepared and sent to the accounts department for authorization and purchasing. Once the supplier delivers the required goods, the process continues at 2.3 to update stock and goods received, where inventory records are updated and goods received, prepared and submitted to the accounts department. Finally, the system completes the cycle upon the execution of 3.1 to package and ship goods, ensuring that the customer receives the order items while the accounts department receives the delivery documentation for proper record keeping.
The Level 3 data flow diagram illustrates how information is handled within an organization's sale and inventory functions. The core technique is data flow modeling, where labeled arrows explicitly show the movement of data packets such as customer order or low stock indicator between different processes and external entities. This is coupled with process decomposition, where high-level functions are broken down into sub-processes like validate order and check stock and prepare order, which defines the data transformation logic. Each process box represents the conversion of input data into output data, essential for defining business rules and algorithms. The system boundary is established through external entity interaction with entities like the customer and supplier, illustrating the critical data interfaces such as sending order acknowledgement or receiving goods and goods received. Furthermore, the diagram employs implicit data stores. For instance, the flow related to update stock or credit limit list indicates where the data is persisted and retrieved, which directly informs the design of underlying database structure. Finally, there's an implicit representation of control flow where certain data items like the flow stock indicator act as triggers to initiate subsequent processes such as manage reorder, thereby defining the sequence and event-driven nature of the system's operation.